Jasmine Flies Away, and today I'm going to be reviewing Pride, Prejudice and Zombies. On Goodreads you can say how many books you want to roughly read within a year, and a long time ago I used to be like, I'm going to read 50 books, because I used to read quite a bit, but since then it is lowered and lowered, and I got stuck on the number of 20, and I've never managed to be able to read 20 books in a year. So this year I am determined. So far I've read 4 books, and this is going to be the first book I'm reviewing. I don't review classics, and I'm not going to review graphic novels because I don't think I have as much to say as other people. So let's get started. Pride, Prejudice and Zombies was written by grahame-smith. Cover here. It is the story of Pride and Prejudice during a zombie apocalypse. Now we all know the story of Pride and Prejudice, but adding the zombie apocalypse into it changes quite a few aspects in the book. Some which were foreseen, some which were not. Let's start with positives. First positive. The girls were badass. They weren't just badass, they had personalities on top of their badassery, if that is a word. So, Elizabeth Bennet, for example, she's aggressive, but she also is sarcastic, sassy, and can kill a man. They added to her character. And Jane, still super loyal and kind and sweet, even praying to zombies after she kills them. She's an adorable person. Lydia, she still cares about boys. It doesn't matter that she can kill a man, she uses it to impress boys, still. Second positive. Mr. Bingley can't fight. Thank you. I was waiting when I first opened this book to meet tons of characters that could fight. No one would have any weaknesses. Maybe Wickham. Maybe Lydia. I'm so happy that grahame-smith made that a part of his character and also didn't twist it in a way that said, oh, I'm the best to Jane and trying to push Jane down because she can fight. No, Bingley was fine that Jane could fight. He found it adorable, and that's what made me love the characters even more. Third positive. I loved the idea of adding zombies into it. A lot of people on Goodreads were like, oh, it felt really random and rushed. I didn't think so. I liked how they added zombies into these key points of the book, and it changed the way that we, the reader, read it. So originally we wouldn't know that Darcy was in love with Elizabeth until he proposes. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. But we don't get that in the book. They openly say, yeah, Darcy fell in love with Elizabeth as soon as he saw her fighting zombies. I really enjoyed those parts of the book, but now the negatives. Negative number 1. I'm disappointed. grahame-smith built this theme that Elizabeth and Darcy together would be an amazing fight team duo. And then at the end of the book he was like, nah, Elizabeth just chucked away her sword and was a wife. That he tried to remedy this by saying, oh, there was a dojo in between so Jane and Elizabeth could still fight together. But that's not fighting zombies, that's not fighting with Darcy, that's not still taking on the world, being a soldier, No, that's, she gave her sword up to be a wife. No! I don't think that was in Lizzie's character to do that. I thought that at the end of the book, Lizzie would have been like, even though the Queen/King told them to put away their swords and be a wife, Elizabeth still continued to kill the zombies with her husband, Darcy, or her sister, Jane. Negative number 2. It is a slow plot to get into, as I felt like I was just reading Pride and Prejudice again and there was a few zombies in it. It wasn't enough to get me hooked. It was like he was just copying the beginning of Jane Austen's novel because he knew that sold well. Negative number 3. Mr. Collins and Charlotte. Now, Mr. Collins and Charlotte are completely different characters in this book compared to anything I've ever heard, seen or read about them. And I enjoyed that thoroughly. But the way he ended their subplot made me really dislike this book. Basically, if you don't want any spoilers, I'm going to put a time frame on the screen so you can skip past this point. But if you do want more about the book, keep watching. Basically, Charlotte's been bitten. So instead of being like, oh, I must get married, she's like, no, I want to live a good life before I die. And I really enjoyed that. That was very honest and manipulative, and I liked it, and it was sad for Elizabeth. It was all these emotions, and then they ended it badly. They go, oh no, Lady Catherine knew this whole time and she'd been trying to help her, but yeah, she made Mr. Collins kill her, and then Mr. Collins hanged himself. Like, literally, that is how quick it was. It was 2 letters, death, and never heard from again. Elizabeth doesn't even seem sad by it, but admittedly she did say her goodbyes. I feel personally that if grahame-smith had to rewrite it, I would recommend him to maybe give it a better ending to that subplot. Maybe Elizabeth has to do it. Maybe Lady Catherine did notice, like, the first time she met Charlotte and in front of everyone kills her. That would be more dramatic than what we got, which was a kind of almost comedic ending. That's not funny, that's just sad. Negative number 4. Ninjas and training. Now don't get me wrong, I can see that this book is clearly a comedy in some aspects, but every single time I read ninja or that they studied in China or Japan, it kind of brought me out the experience because it seemed so unrealistic. When they get trained in England, when they get trained to use a gun in Georgian style than go to China or Japan, all the way up to it, it seemed realistic until they started talking about China or Japan or like ninjas and stuff. Yeah, the fact that they have ninjas in the book. Also there's the aspect of, is it comedy? Is it meant to be serious? You just don't know. And now we go to, hey Jasmine, did you know this was also a movie? Yo. Yes, what kind of film student would I be if I didn't watch the film and criticise it a little bit? The film had a better plot going for it than the book, in my opinion. So it doesn't matter which one you read, they're both two different experiences. And I do recommend watching the film because it does things that the book couldn't do or didn't do, and the book does things that the film didn't. It's two different experiences, as I said. I'm not going to compare them because really their plots and their characters are really different. The book states more realism and keeps within the confines of the Pride and Prejudice canon, while the film is like, nah mate, this is boring, we're gonna go for something way more epic, and achieves it really, really well. Overall, I gave the book 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and if you're looking for my Goodreads profile, it's down below. And I gave the film 7 out of 10. So yeah, this has been the first book review I've done in a very long time. So put down in the comments if you'd like more of these, if you want to recommend any books to me. What are you reading? Yeah, what are you reading? I am currently reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and I'm enjoying it very much. And I have been Princess Jasmine Flies Away, and I now knight you Knights of Awesome. Goodbye.